So, what are you going to be for Halloween?
Oh, I'm going to be a fox.
You're going to be a fox?
Yes, I have a tail.
A fox, you say?
And I have ears. And I have an orange dress.
Oh, that
and
sounds
I got
nice.
furry boots.
I love it.
That were like $6 on Amazon.
What are you doing for Halloween?
I'm going trick-or-treating
Are you
with your
going to come?
kids.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to go this year. I thought maybe you were getting tired of the old.
No, I'm going to go until they stop.
And then we'll just walk around like creeps.
Yes.
While everybody else trick or treats.
Yes.
No, I love it. My neighborhood gets crazy for Halloween.
Yeah, it does.
Like
that one street.
Oh my God. It's like insane. People I cannot keep up with the decorations in this neighborhood. It's
amazing.
Like, I don't know if there's some production designers in my neighborhood or what.
Maybe.
That one house, they do that crazy. It looks like a fucking movie set.
Yeah, it does. It's
fun.
a modernish type house, right?
Yeah, it's like a concrete kind of. It is like there's like fucking dry ice smoke going through the like streets. It is like bananas.
Yeah, they put stuff on the roofs.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, my decorations cannot compare.
Like
I got my decorations up at least. The kids helped me get the decorations
they look great.
Up. Do they?
I think they look great.
I don't know if I would describe them as great, but they're up. I have like kind of a hodgepodge of just things that I've collected over the years.
Yeah, I noticed the giant shiny skeleton head is just in the chair.
Yeah, well, I felt like it should be up there to balance out the energy of the inflatable Frankenstein.
Oh yeah,
which Lucas keeps calling a zombie. You know,
well,
he likes zombies.
Well,
it looks I know Frankenstein is kind of a zombie. I mean, kind of. Yeah. I don't know what to be for Halloween. I think maybe I usually I kind of been doing something witchy every year.
Yeah,
which kind of seems fun.
You could be a koala. I just like cute animals.
No, I think it's
That's
great. I want to be something like spooky or like, you know,
spooky,
I like to put on like, no, I don't like I don't want to be like sexy Harry Potter or anything like that. I like to wear wigs and like makeup and like kind of like look, you know, mysterious. That's what I like to do. I actually one year I did do a victim from Friday the 13th, like a horror movie victim. And all I did was like take one of my shirts and like I taped up a knife onto my body so that it looked like the knife was coming out. And then I got blood coming out of the shirt and I wore like tube socks. So I was like a camp counselor that was being murdered at Camp Crystal Lake. I can't do that kind of stuff now that I've got kids. Yeah. I mean, Charlotte would dig it.
Yeah.
But now she's going to be like an evil clown. She's got a machete. She has a machete as part of her costume.
I almost commented on that when you were like, what 9-year-old has a machete? And I was like, well.
Okay, well, my 9-year-old's a little different than most of me. She loves horror films. I'm looking forward to watching all these with her. Yeah. She got super pissed at me last night because I wouldn't let her watch Bird Box. I was like, no, you are not watching Bird Box.
I haven't seen Bird Box.
Yeah, but it's for adults.
Yeah.
She's like, why can't I watch why can't I watch it? Why can't I watch Bird Box? And I'm like, because you're fucking 9 years old. Yeah. Now, did I watch stuff like that when I was a kid? Yes. Was I allowed to? No. That's the point. Yeah. We can. There are movies that we can watch, but I'm not going to let you full on watch. I'm not going to let you watch fucking It.
I've never seen It.
I haven't seen that one yet. It is on my list though. Like, Sarah, we should just get together and watch horror movies like all month. Yeah. Like with all the free time we have on our hands.
Yeah, all that free time.
But I love watching horror movies.
Me too.
Like I think like Poltergeist. I think we could do Poltergeist. She hasn't seen Gremlins yet. All these are probably going to be a little too tame for her. But like, I don't know what other ones that I could do. That the horror films like, I like can't watch Halloween. She can't
intense.
watch she can't watch like Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like I was 8 years old when I first saw Nightmare on Elm Street, but it was not because my parents let me. It was because it came on TV, and I couldn't sleep for like weeks.
I saw so my old roommate also was into the 80s slasher films, and she showed me like Halloween and Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. We only watched the first 3 or 4, or like I only watched the first three or four films of each. Okay. Well, it didn't seem that scary, but I guess if you're a kid.
Yeah. Well, I would like Freddy was terrifying when I was a kid. Like I would get nightmares just from the trailers. But I was obsessed. I really wanted to see those movies, but my parents wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I saw it for the first time when I was 20. So yeah.
I was like 8 when I first saw Nightmare on Elm Street. I didn't finish it. I got to the first scene where Tina gets murdered and she's like on the ceiling. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
And that was terrifying to me. So I turned it off and ran upstairs. And then I watched the rest at a later time. And then I think I was 10 when I first saw The Exorcist. Again, all this stuff came on TV. But it was like that edited for TV versions.
Yeah.
So if I could get edited for TV versions of some of these movies, maybe. But I don't know. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like when she's 10, maybe I can start unleashing some of this. I think Chris would disagree. I'm sure there are listeners out there who think that I'm fucking crazy, but she was like literally like, give me one reason why I can't watch Bird Box. And I'm like, because I'm your mom and I'm responsible for these judgment calls about what you can and can't watch and she just like was not having it. She had like a full on meltdown because I wouldn't let her watch Bird Box. I'm like, you don't even fucking know what the movie's about.
Yeah.
You just know that you want it.
Yep.
Anyway. So I think this is a good segue to Sarah. What do you like? Give me your like 3 movies you gotta watch around Halloween. 3 movies you gotta watch at this time of year.
The Omen, the 1970s version. That's my favorite horror film. Okay, it's very scary to me. I'm the kind of person, though, with horror films that the first time I see it, I'm not scared. Like, no matter, I'm like, okay, there's an exception. The Babadook. I was definitely scared
movie.
At that one.
We watched that together.
Yeah, we did.
That was a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend that.
Yeah. And then what else? Okay, so this, I really like 1970s horror films. I know you like 80s. I like
70s as well. 70s. I like 70s and 80s a lot.
Yeah. So there's this one film called The Other. It's not The Others with Nicole Kidman.
I've never seen this.
The Other.
And I love 70s horror, so maybe we should watch this.
Yeah. It's about these 2 boys. They're twins.
So you like creepy kid horror. This is the second one in a row.
That's true, but I don't like it because of the creepy kids. I like it because of the way it's told, the content. I actually think the whole like kids being creepy motif in horror films is kind of
played out.
It's played out. Yeah. It's kind of cheesy. That's not scary to me. But basically, this movie is about these 2 twin boys, and one of them is like quote unquote good and one of them is quote unquote evil. Okay. And there's a twist at the end. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Okay. But yeah.
All right. Cool.
I like it.
And what's the third one?
Okay, so The Omen, The Other, and Midsummer is.
Oh, you're gonna throw Midsummer in there.
This
is gonna be your new. I gotta watch it every Halloween.
Every Halloween, I don't know about that.
Well, what do you want to put on every Halloween?
Every Halloween,
like if you gotta. But you're saying everybody should watch Midsummer.
Well, I think the vast majority of those I've talked to have been like, yeah, I can't watch that. Okay. So I don't know.
Well, you think about that.
Okay. You say stuff, and then I'll think about it.
Obviously, gotta watch John Carpenter's Halloween. Gotta watch it every year. I love that movie. It's like, to me, it's like the perfect horror film. I love the camera work. I love Laurie Strode. I think the acting is very good in that movie for like one of these type of movies. And I love that long steady cam shot. There's a lot of steady cam shots in it, or they were using the Panaglide actually. I fucking love that movie. I love the colors. I love the lighting. It's just like, it's a beautiful movie and I love it. So I got to watch Halloween every year. Of course, Nightmare on Elm Street, big one for me. I love 1 and 3, of course, are my favorites of that series. Freddy Krueger, like I mentioned, was like a huge cultural phenomenon when I was a kid, and it was even before I saw the movies, he fueled many of my nightmares. I just always thought it was really, and I love Wes Craven. I love I love listening to Wes Craven talk. He's done a lot of crazy movies. Like Last House on the Left is like an incredibly brutal movie, like Nightmare on Elm Street. Scream is great.
Oh yeah, Scream.
Wes Craven has a lot of misses, but he's really great. I deeply miss his presence in the horror world now that he's no longer with us for the last, I don't know, it's been a while. It's been maybe 5 years or so, maybe longer. God, what would be my last one? It's really hard to say.
Carrie?
Yeah, I love Carrie. I love Brian De Palma's film Carrie. I mean, there's a lot of really great modern horror. Like, I don't want to say that there have been some really fucking great movies that have come out. And I love American Horror Story. Like, I love I haven't seen a lot of the more recent seasons, but I loved the first season of American Horror Story. But yeah, Brian De Palma's Carrie. Great camera work, great characters. And there's lots of campy moments in it, but like, it's just like a really fucking good movie. Love that movie.
I thought of my third and fourth.
Oh, you have 4. Yes. Go for it.
The Shining.
Yes.
I love The Shining. It's a good one.
Yes.
And Psycho. I know it's an old one.
Oh, yes. That's a
but
good one.
I do enjoy it.
Considered by many to be one of maybe the first slasher movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lot to choose from. I'm fucking obsessed with Jennifer's Body. I keep talking about it mostly because I didn't watch it until earlier this year. And I will not stop singing the gospel of Jennifer's Body, because that movie, like, I should have seen it 10 years ago when it came out. That movie was exactly the kind of movie that I would have liked. But because the studio didn't know how to market a fucking feminist horror movie, it played into the idea that like Megan Fox had been in Transformers, and everybody was like, thought she was like, they were playing into her sexuality and not what the movie was about.
Right.
And so this was just a classic case of the studio, like at the time, thinking like, well, only boys age like 18 to 25 or whatever go see horror movies, or 16 to 25 or whatever target market. They were like trying to market to bros. And they went and saw the movie and they're like, what the fuck is this? This is not like a hot chick killing people, because that's not what the fucking movie is about. It's about toxic female friendships. It's about I think it's about sexual violence and how trauma like changes people, and like it's a fucking amazing movie, and it's beautifully shot. The acting's great. The story, the dialogue is so quotable and awesome.
How have I not? I think
nobody knew, because you didn't know. You probably saw a
know.
Commercial and you were like, "That's not for me," because they weren't marketing to you. Had they been marketing to me or you or anybody else who would have fucking loved this movie, came out 10 years ago. Most recent, it's like its 10-year anniversary.
Okay, and
it was panned because these men didn't know what to do with it. The studio, the people doing the marketing, the people writing the reviews, the men that were being marketed to think that this movie was about something it wasn't. So like people like you and me saw commercials for it and were like, I don't fucking want to see that. Like, that looks like a dumb movie about, like why, like Megan Fox, like why, like, you know, she's so fucking good in this movie. She's like the only person who could have played that part.
Wow.
Amanda Seyfried is in it. I bet you didn't know that. No. Because she's nowhere on any of the posters. She's the main character.
Seriously?
Yes. Amanda Seyfried is the main character in this movie.
They fucked up.
Adam Brody's in it. Adam Brody. You'll recognize him when you see him. They didn't get the marketing right for this movie at all. And it's so fucking good. And so I would urge anybody out there, if you are a lady, if you're a man, watch it too. It's great for all people, honestly, but especially if you're like a woman who likes a fucking badass feminist fucking horror movie, go like watch Jennifer's Body. It's really fucking good. and it's directed by Karen Kusama, who's a really amazing female director, and written by Diablo Cody, who's like an amazing writer. Yeah, great writer. Yeah, so great fucking movie. Everybody go see it.
Let's see it tonight.
I'd like to. Yeah, let's watch it. Okay, so those are our recs. Those are our recs for the holiday. Halloween is like my favorite holiday, you guys. I love it. So let's get spooky. Let's get creepy and spooky. Let's light some fucking candles. Let's eat some candy corns and some mini Snickers bars and
fun size.
Let's eat some fun-sized candy bars and dive back in to our discussion on Friday the 13th, Part 6.
Yes.
I'm gonna go find my daddy, the sheriff, and then we can all go home, okay? Now, go back and lie down where you were before and stay there. Go ahead. And we'll come back and get you. I promise. Go lie down, stay there.
What do you think?
I think we're dead meat.
At this point, Tommy's back in jail. Meg's got it bad, and she's coming back to see him. Dad's pissed off about it. She like comes back and like gets caught by, not Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, you want to know what your friend Tommy did? And he tells him about how like, which, may be a little graphic, for you to tell your child. But he tells her that Court and his girlfriend were like murdered in the camper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You would think this would deter her.
No.
It does not.
Yeah.
She is like ride or die with Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah. And they just met.
Here's the weird thing. So the sheriff is like, I don't want you to have anything to do with this guy. He's dangerous. And then he's like, I don't want you leaving this. I don't want you leaving this police station. So he's like, I don't want you with this guy. He's dangerous, but I'm going to leave you in the fucking police station with him while you're making googly eyes at him.
Yeah,
he doesn't
that doesn't
take
make
her
sense.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So he leaves her there. They do some kind of magical disappear. Like they do some kind of
like
Wookiee prisoner gag.
Yeah. What do they do again?
Well, she pretends like she's drawing something.
Oh yeah.
And then she throws, like he pretends like he's like saying something. They kiss. Like she throws the thing. She goes to get the sketch pad.
Yeah. Was that pretend? Because it seemed like
it was not an attractive kiss.
No, it was like a rapey kiss.
Well, I would say more was like, yes. Well, he grabs her face and like pulls it to his face, but also their lips smashing together was like, it was like if aliens came down from a planet and were trying to experience what human physical contact was like, and they were just haphazardly mashing their lips together.
Yes.
So it's like, what's happening with the bodily contact in this movie?
What is happening?
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
There's something unnatural about it. Like, have these people never touched other humans before?
I don't know. I'm still thinking about the sex aerobics. Like, it just didn't look arousing. They looked bored. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. So they pull some kind of Wookiee prisoner gag where she gets the deputy Trump son's gun.
Yeah.
It's like, it's got like a fucking laser on it too. It's like a silencer gun or something.
What is that line that they repeated that was like,
you point the gun and it go bang or something like that?
It's like, it was like grammatically incorrect or something. Like,
yeah. Where the laser
and
goes,
you bang.
Where the laser goes, you bang, or something like that.
Yes.
I feel like I wrote it down, but I didn't. All right. So meanwhile, while this is going on, all the murdering is happening back at the camp.
Yes.
So you've got Sissy, who was wearing the suspenders under the thing.
Yep.
She just kind of gets pulled out a window or something. Then Paula.
But how did she die? Did she get her face smushed?
Well,
no,
we
she
see
gets
her. Well, he like crushes her head, but then we like see her head later in a car, like it rolls out.
Yeah, we do. So maybe he crushed it and then cut it off.
Yeah, I mean, because he's thorough. He's not like Tommy Jarvis. He's not going to do a sloppy job,
Yeah.
So And then Paula is like helping there. She's the only one there with the kids. This is at the point where I'm starting to go like, what's going to happen with these kids, you know?
Yeah.
And like, you've got that little girl, Nancy, who's having the nightmares. And so she's going to comfort
How do you
Nancy.
remember all these names?
I wrote them down, which is unusual because you usually write everything down.
Yeah.
But I wrote that. See, I wrote it down because I knew we wouldn't be able to remember any of their names. Nancy was the little kid's name.
Okay.
And then here's the thing is like, at one point, do you remember this? Nancy like comes into Paula's bedroom with like a bloody machete.
Yes. And I remember commenting that was not real blood. It like looked obviously like
it looked like Schmuckers.
Like exactly, like jelly. Like it looked like it tasted sweet.
Like you could just lick that
yeah,
machete.
Exactly.
You could put that machete on a piece of toast.
Yes.
Paula does not seem to have any reaction to this bloody machete. She's like, Court and Sissy are just playing jokes.
Yeah.
Go back to bed.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, I would think the same thing with blood that looked like that.
Yeah, but I'd still be like, where did this 9-year-old get a machete?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have some questions at least. So eventually she gets murdered in her cabin.
The adult, not the
Paula.
not
no,
Nancy.
none of the kids are all they make it through the whole thing.
Yeah.
In fact, at one point Jason's like standing over Nancy's bed.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, which I'm like, I think that they wouldn't have done that in the film just because they know that kids like being killed is like one of those like things you don't do.
Right. Well, the writer-director, the auteur of this film, Tom McLaughlin, says that Jason would not, in his mind, Jason would not hurt a child because he sympathizes with them, because he feels like
he was killed as a child.
Yeah. Yes. So it's the counselors that he wants to kill, not the children.
Okay. But the counselors are still kids themselves, right?
Well, yes. In the world of the movie, yes. But all of these actors are all adults.
30s.
Yeah, like I feel like Megan is not that much younger than her dad.
She looked like, oh yeah, that was something else that like they look like they're like 6 years apart.
Yeah, it was like a real touchy situation there. But yeah, Paula gets murdered in her cabin. Explodes, I assume.
Yeah, because there's blood everywhere. But like not, I mean, like she would have had to. It looked like 10 bodies exploded in there.
Yeah, it looks like somebody just took like one of those things that you use to like, they used to like spray down your yard with the mosquito, like the fogger. It looked like somebody blood fogged that whole room.
Like there's no way that,
they pressure washed that whole room with blood. It was kind of a cool image. It doesn't make any sense. It was
very frightening. It makes no sense.
No sense, but it looked cool.
Yeah.
So eventually what happens is Megan springs Tommy from the jail and then drives around with him in her car trying to figure out, I don't quite remember what they were doing. They were like, he had to get supplies because he's now figured out from his occult books that Jason needs to be returned
to the grave,
returned to the lake.
Oh, the lake. I'm sorry.
Returned to the lake. You would think the grave, but no. He's got to be returned home.
The place where he was first killed.
Yes, exactly. The first time. And they're driving around. They hit a couple of roadblocks. And so
she reverses hardcore and shoves his face in her crotch.
And we get several
crotch shots.
Several full-on camel toe shots.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was for humor,
like
or for titillation.
Like because I know too much about the filmmaking process. When I saw those shots, all I could think about was the setup of those shots, like
how they had to get the light.
How they had to set it up to shoot
I'm
it.
getting too much shadow in the crotch. I'm gonna need some fill.
Yeah.
On the crotch.
Can I get some fill? Fly in some fill.
Can I fly in some fill on this crotch? Yeah. So, and they go back to. It's not like they're like, let's show it once. They're like, let's definitely show this crotch shot. It's like that skeleton. They're like, let's go back to it.
They got it all set. They got the lighting all set up, Nicole. They needed
it's
to.
True.
They needed to
it was
get
very.
It was
it was a high contrast shot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of contrast going on in that crotch.
How do you think he felt about
Tommy?
it? Tommy didn't look
How does Tommy feel
particularly
about
excited.
How does Tommy feel about anything?
Exactly.
Really?
I don't know how he feels.
He just shouts a lot about.
Yeah.
He just shouts a lot of exposition.
He doesn't seem like an actor. He just seems like some guy. They were like, "Here, say these things."
I mean, he was cast in the role. They tried to get back the guy from part 5, but that guy didn't want to be in the movie. So they got this guy. That guy, don't be sad. That guy was also a terrible actor, a different terrible actor.
Yes.
So at some point they get caught, and now they're back at the camp. They're back at the camp. Tommy's back. Meg's back. Megan.
Like the month of May. Megan.
So Megan's back. And Deputy Trump's son is there, not Michael Keaton is there, and they're just like trying to. So instead of evacuating the children from the camp, which seems like maybe the reasonable thing to do, or perhaps calling the fire department, maybe getting some backup.
No,
they decide to herd all the children into one cabin.
Mm-hmm. And tell them to stay there, hide underneath the bunks.
Don't leave an adult there with them at all.
Nope.
Eventually, Megan does show up after looking into the horrors of Paula's cabin.
Yeah.
She goes to the kids' cabin and stays with them for a little while. There's a lot of hilarity with the kids in the cabin. Those boys.
Oh, yeah, the boys.
Oh, my God. They were like my favorite part of the movie. Where they're like,
for sure,
one kid says to the other kid, like, we're dead meat. And then they cut back to them later, and the one kid's like, so what did you want to be when you grew up? I'm like, that is the best line in this movie.
Yes.
So at some point, Jason has an encounter with not Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they all are trying to shoot at Jason.
Yeah.
It's not working.
No.
I think.
Wait, is this the one where he shoots him and Jason like plays dead?
Well, he shoots him with you shoot Jason with a handgun, and it's like you might as well throw a pebble at him. But the sheriff shoots him with a shotgun, and that apparently does something because he does lay down.
Yes,
he does he does practically a backflip.
Yeah, like
a tuck and roll, and lays down dead-ish.
But then
seemingly
he pops up.
Yeah, you can't keep that guy down.
Yeah, for some reason, the way he was playing it, I thought that he was like playing dead, not like actually being hurt.
I think we can assume that Jason is not very smart.
And not very playful.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have the same playfulness as a Freddy Krueger, per se.
Yeah.
Or even, Michael Myers, who likes to maybe toy with you a little bit. Like, Jason's like a real utilitarian murderer. He's going to get in there, he's going to get the job done, and he's going to move on with his life.
Or undead.
Or his undead life. Or his undeath. His undeath. So then I think like Megan maybe is in trouble, and then the sheriff appear. Like they get separated. Megan's like, Tommy's trying to get into the boat with the chain. I think his plan is to chain up Jason with a rock and toss him in the lake and have him drown again.
Yes.
But somehow Deputy, do you remember what happens to Deputy Trump's son? What happens to that guy? He probably just gets a machete to the face or something. Well, Jason doesn't have his machete at this point.
I don't know if anything does happen to the
Did we ever see
Trump
him
son?
again?
I don't think we do.
Huh. Yeah, I feel like he went to the camp and then we never saw him again.
Yeah.
There was another cop that got killed there that appeared out of nowhere, right? That was shooting at him?
Yes.
And then not Michael Keaton, Sheriff not Michael Keaton bum rushes Jason at some point and gets like folded in half.
Yes. Who gets their heart ripped out, or who gets
that was Ron Palillo in the opening scene in the graveyard.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot how he died.
Did you like that part?
I did. That was the best death to me.
Okay. Fair enough.
He's very strong.
Good. He is.
It's like freakishly
especially
strong.
Considering he's been like in a grave for so long.
Yeah.
He's really he's really taken care of himself.
I just can't wrap my head around it. Like how, I don't know.
I mean, he's undead. He's paranormal. So he's got that kind of paranormal super strength going on.
Yeah.
So Tommy gets into the boat. He lights the lake on fire.
Which I'm just like, are you trying to kill yourself? Like,
I'm not really sure what the purpose of the lake fire was. I'm not really sure what purpose that served.
I mean, did he think that the fire went down below? Like, to keep him trapped?
Yeah, maybe it was to keep him under the lake. I don't know. Maybe he just... he's not like Frankenstein, so he's not afraid of this. Anyway, I'm not really sure what the fire was about, but he does eventually get Jason, the chain around Jason's neck, but in the process, Jason grabs him, pulls him under, and he drowns.
Kind of.
Well, he drowns.
Yeah.
And then Megan goes in to pull him out, and that's when she gets in the boat and gives Jason a good old propeller to the face.
Which,
while all the kids are watching.
It looked
from the shore.
Like he was getting his head cut off.
Well, it looks like maybe she just gave him a little bit of a just a little bit of a, like a little skim. I couldn't tell if it was a neck. Was she getting his neck? There was a lot of meat coming out of there, just like floating out. Yeah. But it didn't seem to impact his face.
No.
It did not break the mask.
It didn't impact his neck either. We see
maybe
him.
It was a shoulder. Maybe it was a shoulder that got it.
No idea. It looked like his neck, like in the shot, but then he was fine.
Well, that was all shot at 3 different places.
What?
Well, the above lake stuff was shot at the lake in Covington, which apparently was freezing cold. That whole time they were in the lake. Wow. It was freezing cold. The stuff in the water with Tommy was shot in a tank in Los Angeles.
What?
The
Why couldn't they have
stuff
a tank in here?
Well, we didn't really. I guess I don't think we had as many studios, sound studios and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the propeller to the neck was actually shot in Tom McLaughlin's parents' pool in their backyard.
He was serious?
Like, "Hey, I need to get some shots of this thing. Do you mind if I use the pool?" And that's how that happened.
Weird.
Well, he fucked up that pool, filled it with like goo, basically.
No,
bloody goo. His mom was not happy.
Are you just saying
I'm
this?
not saying, like, this is literally what he said in the interview. I watched an interview with him talking about it, and he said, "My dad loved it. My mom was pissed."
Yeah. I mean, did he get it cleaned?
I would hope so. I would hope so. Any good son would. You know? So she propellers Jason's face and he drowns.
Or so we think.
Or so we think.
Yes.
She pulls Tommy out, sheepskin jacket and all. He's still got the sheepskin on.
Yes. Gives him the little mouth to mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And he coughs up a tablespoon of water.
And then they embrace like they have been married for 20 years.
Yes.
Like they have a deep bond.
Can we go back and talk about how like she like is crying when she sees him like on the lake in the fire? She's like beside herself.
Yeah.
And we were both like, but you just met him.
I feel like she needs to go into counseling maybe. Yeah. She has some issues that she needs to work on in herself.
Yes.
Yeah, so she revives him and then the kids are all standing there and they probably also might need to get some therapy as well.
Probably.
I think getting them to camp next year is going to be a tough sell.
Yeah, no, I would not recommend that they come back. Because what is the last shot in the film?
The last shot? What do you remember? It's like under the lake.
And he opens his eyes.
Yeah, he opens his eyes. So he's like, "I'm not dead. I'm just waiting," I guess.
How could you fucking kill that guy? Do you have to chop off his head? Chop off his head. Put his head in New York and his torso in...
Well, now that he's been reanimated.
Miami. One leg in California. Another leg in Chile.
I'm pretty sure in part 7 they put him back under the lake.
What?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. In part 8... I think they blew up the ship or something. There's like they blew him up maybe in part 8. I don't know.
But then he
It
comes
gets a
back
little
in
fuzzy.
9.
Yeah, it gets a little fuzzy towards
How do
the
you
end.
do it? How do they keep
It gets
making
a little fuzzy.
films?
It gets a little fuzzy towards the end.
And how do they keep naming them like the final, the last? Like,
Well, it's good for marketing.
that's true.
So final thoughts on Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It is not
Agreed.
a great film, but
No.
it is fun and worth spending an hour and a half. I don't know how long it is. 2 hours?
86 minutes, I think.
Okay.
I think it's one of the shortest Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah, no, I thought it was fun. I would recommend it to anyone having like a fun
Fun
evening, Halloween evening.
And as far as horror movies goes, by today's standards, pretty like campy. So not like
very tame.
Yeah, you're not like, oh God, now I can't sleep.
Like I think that even Charlotte could maybe no.
No. I think we're not there yet.
Okay.
Also, I don't really want to have to explain the sex aerobics. I don't think I want to explain that.
But that is like, yeah, okay.
That's not how I want that conversation to go.
That's true. The first sex scene I saw was Titanic, and that wasn't even like a sex scene.
How do you even know that they're having sex?
That's the thing, is I didn't know. Like I saw it when I was 9.
We had HBO, so
and I didn't know what was then. I didn't know what happened during sex.
I thought it was just like naked people sleeping together in a bed and rolling around.
And like in Titanic, they're all sweaty, and I'm like, why are they all sweaty? Like what just happened?
It's just really hot in that car.
No, I was so confused. I was so like, what just happened?
Yeah, I think we're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna wait a few years on this one. Yeah. Maybe Poltergeist. I think that's a good way to start with. I mean, she's already watching Stranger Things, but I think that'd be a good place to start. All right. Well, I've enjoyed talking about this movie with you.
Yeah.
Feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm in the Halloween spirit.
Yes.
Did you enjoy your tea?
It was tea, and I don't like tea. So
That's okay. We
sorry.
tried.
We tried.
And it's something that we shared together.
Yes.
And I feel good about it.
And I appreciate you making my bag and
your bag of tea.
My bag of tea. Sorry. She packed a bag of tea for me.
I did. I packed you a bag of tea.
I want to save the tea.
Well, I mean, if you're not going to drink it, you mean like save it for your scrapbook?
Yes, my Nicole scrapbook.
Listeners, thank you for joining us for this 2-parter. Not sure where the stopping point is going to be. But thank you for joining us for the second half of our discussion on Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives. You can follow us on the social medias. This podcast, we're Critical Crop Top, and this podcast is produced by Critical Crop Top Media. So we also do web content, videos. We got some videos up on YouTube and Vimeo. We do live comedy shows. So you can find us at Critical Crop Top on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, you can follow this podcast, the Georgia Made Podcast, at Georgia Made Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And you can find us on Twitter at Georgia Made Pod. So
yay.
Rate, review, subscribe. That will help us find new listeners. And tell us your thoughts on Friday the 13th, part 6. What was your favorite part? Is Tommy Jarvis a hero?
Were you able to suspend your disbelief?
Is aerobic sex in an RV actually is it sex? Can it be considered sex?
I don't think so.
So Sarah, shall we go home and watch
Jennifer's Body?
Jennifer's Body?
Sure,
yes, let's watch Jennifer's Body. If we watch Jennifer's Body, we can talk about it on the show.
Sweet.
Yes.
Was it made here?
No. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna have some more tea.
Okay.
And you're
not.
You do you. You're not gonna have tea.
No, I'm not.
Maybe a nice cold liqueur.